Hey everyone, welcome to another Unscripted Moments Live. We're just warming up, getting the lights right, coffee poured, and the chat rolling. When the timer hits 0, we'll dive in. Until then, hang out with us. Don't be shy, say hey in the chat, tell us where you're watching from. Got questions or thoughts? Drop them in the chat. This is all about real conversations live and unfiltered. We talk tech, life, and everything in between, completely unscripted. Heads up, these lives can run long, but they're packed with nuggets of good stuff. We keep them uncut, and we add tons of chapter markers later. Scrub through, jump ahead, or rewind. Jump to what interests you, no wrong way to watch. These lives aren't as regular as we'd like, so if you don't want to miss the next one,
Hey guys, how's it going? So, everybody's been talking Claude this past couple of weeks. I've used Claude in the past. I do feel it's probably the best coding AI there is to date. I think it was and still to date. I don't pay for it. I do use Cursor for my coding. So yeah, and even with Cursor, when I have a large project, I'll pay for it and then I'll stop it. For me, on the day-to-day, writing seems to be more of a necessity. So I need something that's good at writing and memory. The better memory makes the writing better. So ChatGPT seems to be my go-to. And everything else I just turn on and off. I do wish ChatGPT was better at the coding side as good as everything else. But yeah. So what is all this Claude talk about? For sure. Bear with me. We're just getting some things started here. All right. Hey, Music Craze, how's it going? Let's make that a little big. There you go. Yeah, I think Music Craze uses Claude quite a bit as well. He actually has. Let's give him a little plug here. Sorry, my Stream Deck went wacky here for a second. Trying to get it back. All right, so as I was saying, Music Craze has designed this nice website that he uses for music discovery. And he's done a really nice job here. I'm not going to play much because I'm not going to play around with it too much. I don't want to get kicked off YouTube. So I think it does link into Apple Music and Spotify, and it's a good way of discovering new music and everything. Yes, he has a lot going on in there. And I think he does use Claude a bit. All these C names. Anyway, let's jump back to Claude here. So I literally just upgraded my account. And here we go here. So this is the Claude website. So before I go any further, I'm gonna go into settings. and look around. Maybe update some stuff in here. My name, I guess you could change your icon, but it doesn't give you an upgrade profile image. Interesting. Work function. You can't select your own. Product management, engineering, marketing, operations. I'm just going to say other. So your personal preferences. I might have to think about that a little bit. Responses and completions, get notified. Yes, I'm going to say yes to that. Allow notifications in here. Emails from Claude on the web. Yeah, I'll turn that on too. Appearance, I'm going to leave it. I'm going to put it on auto for now. Usage. Current session, weekly limits, extra usages, artifacts, AI powered, code execution, give Claude network access to install packages and libraries. As a custom visualization, I'm going to turn that on. Domain allowed. I'm going to put all domains for right now. Allow Claude to search real information on chats. Yes, I want memory. Generate memory from chat history. Yes. Looks like we could create skills here. We'll come back to that at some point. We have connectors. I connected my GitHub when I had my free account. Don't really use Google services, to be honest, guys. Sorry. Some people really use. You could do MCP servers, which is nice. Claude Code. Okay, so for the most part, the settings seem pretty straightforward. Okay, so let's go down. So we got a sidebar, chats, projects. It seems a little slow on the loads for me for some reason. Can you guys see this stuff all right? Or maybe I should zoom in a little more. Something like that. So recents, untitled, artifacts. Not even sure what artifacts really means in this. All right. I'm just going to close a couple of other tabs. So, right now I am using the Atlas browser. Not because I think it's the best browser, but because it works with ChatGPT. So it keeps all my memory in the same place and it's easy to call on things. I thought it would be neat to see if the Claude Chrome browser extension works inside Atlas. I haven't seen anyone talk about this. Music Crate artifacts where you... So he gives us code and you could download it. Okay, so that's where it zips it up and puts it all. Thanks for that. Praise. Yeah, if I go to artifacts, your artifacts, I don't think I have anything in there. Yeah. If you can dream it, you can build it. Take apps, games, templates, and tools. Yeah, the terminology between all these AIs, they try to be a little different. So yeah, so there's a few ways of working with this. You know what? Let's use chat. Name the ways I can use Claude. Okay, that's interesting. Let's go to new chat. I'm looking for speed and everything too. So yeah, so web, mobile, desktop, exactly. There's an API, Claude Code. So it didn't mention Mac desktop app and CLI. Maybe it's calling Claude Code CLI. Yeah, the CLI tool is for Claude Code. Copy. Okay, so give me the link for the Mac desktop app. Having me some coffee. I'm leaving this real time for you guys. I mean, it's taken quite a bit of time. So again, for writing stuff, I don't know. We do have different models here. We're using Sonnet 4.5, which is best for everyday tasks. Maybe Haiku 4.5 we should be using. I don't know. Well, let's leave it on its default. So we're going to download the desktop app. It's downloading here. I'm going to jump over to our desktop view. Dragging it over. I think I had it installed already. Right. I'm going to run it. And then we'll take a peek at it. Yes, open. So yeah, guys, we do these hangouts once in a while. Just learning something together. You guys could ask questions. Hey, Big Break, how's it going, buddy? So we have the app installed here. Looks very clean. We do have a menu bar app at the top. We click it, it gives this little pop-up at the bottom here. Looks like we have to do a permissions thing. And I'll turn Claude on. Password. Quit and reopen. Okay, so we got it installed. Again, we have the icon in the menu bar that pops that up. Quickly turn on file sharing. Yes, I guess we should do that. Another permissions thing, security. Turn it on. Password. You guys know the gist of this. Okay, I'm gonna keep going to stuff to make sure everything's installed. Okay, right click on there is only quit, so not many options there. We also have it in the bar at the bottom. So in this window, we could click on this sidebar, and that's basically our normal sidebar. See if we make this a little bigger. We have code tab and a chat. Code wants us to install runtime dependencies. We'll go ahead and install it. Claude Code may read and write files and folders to risk. Yeah, okay. So this is giving it some dependencies so it could read and write files. So awesome. Okay, so again, back to chat. This is pretty straightforward, right? Like ChatGPT or most things. It's pretty clean. So the next thing I was going to get at is, and the big thing what everyone's been talking about this week, and we'll dive into this a little more, is the CLI. So one of the things that Cursor does fantastic, better than everybody or the current AIs that are out there, is the planning. And the big drawback to most of these other ways of doing these installs, so the web version versus the desktop version do not have the advanced planning. So if you want the advanced planning, you have to end up using CLI, which is in your terminal. So you want to use the terminal version to get the most out of it. Don't ask me why, but that's it. But you know what? Don't ask me why. Let's ask Claude. Let's go back to big review view. Tell me the difference between planning on Claude, between web, desktop, and CLI. Let's ask it, right? Why guess? Pondering, stand by. So searching the web. Based on the search results, here are the key differences in planning features across. Okay, so CLI, plan mode and Claude signature planning feature. Yeah. Activating. Press Shift tab twice to enter. Yeah, this is how you go back and forth between them in CLI. Okay, desktop. So the desktop version, Claude Desktop, doesn't have a dedicated plan mode feature. More conversational, yeah. Can't add planning. And when I say planning, yes, it plans stuff out, but it also teases information out of you to make what you're building better, or for it to understand what you're trying to build. So it will start asking you questions while it's planning it out, and that's where a lot of the power is. If it doesn't understand something, ask. But these other versions that most people are using, the desktop version, here, the web version has the least planning specific features. right? So the bottom line, if you need structured executable planning for coding tasks, Claude Code's plan mode is purpose-built for this. For general planning and brainstorming, the web and desktop versions work fine, but they lack the research, then execute workflow that makes Claude Code's planning so powerful. So, bam, that is the thing that people are missing because they're not using Terminal to do this stuff. And this is why people are talking so much about it this past week. Okay, let's install the CLI on Mac. So let's do this. Okay, so I'm going to open up, I'm going to do this in basic terminal. You know what? Let's go back to desk view, guys. Let's make our terminal a little bigger. All right, so it's going to ask us to curl. So basically it's running a bash script. And I know a lot of other people use like the Ghost terminal and things like that. I've been using, what is it called? Warp. It does have some AI built in. I don't think it's anything all that, but I've been using it. Again, you can even use Cursor and use Terminal in Cursor, which I do that more than anything. Okay, so that's installed. Let's take a look at, let's see, Claude help. You guys get to see all my typos. All right, so maybe we should make our terminal a better size. All right, guys, a lot of information in there. Scrolling back up. Claude Code starts an interactive session by default. Your prompt. Okay. Again, I'm acting like I don't know how to use this stuff, right? So let's tell it. Explain to me how to use CLI for the first time. And stick around. We are going to try to install that Chrome extension onto Atlas and see if it works. No clue, but it'd be interesting. Okay, so step 1, open terminal and navigate to your project. Okay, so I'm going to want a location. I usually, let's clear all this stuff out. I'm going to make this smaller so it's easier for you guys to see. I don't want you guys straining your eyes too much. So, my working directory. You know what? No. I just needed to remember. Oh, I named it Cursor Sandbox. I guess I could have a Claude Sandbox too. Okay. Yeah, so I guess I beat it to it. Made the directory, I went to it. So the first time we run this, we'll go through a setup wizard. Interesting. Okay. Let's do this. So I guess we just type Claude in. No, there's a setup window. So we can click our up and down arrows and it moves through the options in here. Very slick for terminal. Dark mode, light mode. I don't like things too light, but I don't think I want, well, let's keep it dark mode. Claude account with subscription, that's what I have, right? So I'm going to go with that. So I guess it's pulling up the website and I will authorize it. Login successful. Hit enter. Claude can make a mistake. Review Claude's responses, especially when running code. Due to prompt injection risk, only use it when with code you trust. Okay. For optimal coding experience, enable the recommended settings for your terminal. We'll use the recommended for now. Do you trust the files in this folder? Yes, I will. Since it's a folder I just created for this project and there's nothing in it, I'm going to say I trust it. Okay, model. Let's close this and go back to our steps. Light dark mode. Even here it says use arrow keys to select. Authorization, recommended settings for the flow plan. So I guess we could tell it stuff like summarize this project. Or what files are in this directory. So we could just ask it, files are in this. This is a trick question because there is none. Can I just do an ls also? No. So we're not in kind of terminal right now. We are in Claude. Interesting. Nice switch between Claude and normal terminal. Okay, so it sounds like you have to exit it. So you're probably going to end up having two terminals open, one for Claude and one to do normal stuff, right? Good to know. Pro tip, use multiple terminal windows and tabs. Yep, there you go. How do I switch between planning mode? So I know it said it earlier. I have something tab, shift tab. Shift tab, yep, that's right. So shift tab, repeat, goes through, cycles through. Shift tab, accept edits, plan mode on. Okay. Give me a quick, small, help me figure, help me come up with a quick coding idea to test Claude. It does feel longer. I feel like I'm waiting more. Versus ChatGPT, right? I mean, that's what I'm comparing it to. This would definitely be annoying to use as an everyday thing. Personal expense tracker? That sounds boring. Less boring. I'm going to switch the model and see if it... Oh, I guess you have to get all the way to the bottom. Okay, so when I change chat models, I think it lost the memory. It almost sounds like it's starting over. Fair enough. Let me throw out some random ideas to see if anything clicks. Let's choose the first one because I think it's not thinking of an app anymore. Interesting. Hey guys, please chime in on the comments. Anything you want me to check out specifically, have any ideas, please key in. What's a good idea of an app to build that shows off Claude that would not take too long as we are live? So let's go shift. Let's go plan mode, and let's say 5. So now we're using the plan mode. It's thinking. A smart to-do list is perfect for a live demo. Since this is an empty directory, I need to understand your preferences before implementing. So it's given us options: HTML plus vanilla JS, React plus VITE, or Next.js. So normally I would go something like Next.js, but for this test, let's just, and I'm still able, again, being able to go up and down to choose options in here is really nice. I'm going to go 1. Direct API calls, interactive. Let's go with the recommended. Let's go natural language, and submit. Submit. Thanks, Big Break. Yeah, Cray, so the big thing here is that the planning is supposedly what makes Claude so good. And the planning only works well in CLI. I think there's lower grades in other things, but doing it in CLI is a lot more beneficial. I'm just going to go auto accept. So this is what everyone's talking about lately. This is what all the talk around Claude is. It's about the planning. And using Claude these other ways, you end up missing everything you're getting out of the planning. People will do this and like have it plan and then execute it overnight and let it run for hours. It's a thing, but the planning is what makes it so well, and it being able to ask you more questions on what you're trying to get out of it. And that's the big part there. Will they roll this planning phase out into their other avenues? I hope so. We'll see. I'm trying to do a quick build here, but it's still running. Maybe we go jump over and try to install Claude. Yeah, I'm looking, so I guess it's still writing stuff here. Maybe we'll jump over to the browser. Let's go to the Claude extension for Chrome, and let's see if we could add it. Add extension. I'm curious to see. Atlas is a Chrome browser, so I'm curious to see if it lets us install it, or, you know, if it really works. Okay. So we need to go into extensions, probably. Manage extensions. We probably want to pin the extension into browser bar. Okay. So the extension is installed here. Does it do anything? Yeah, I'm clicking on it. It's not doing anything. Let's see if the extension has any settings that, no, I mean, click on details. All sites, extension options, let's see. Allow microphone access. Completion notifications. Okay. Let's go to an actual page and see. Yeah, so the extension does not work in Atlas. Boo woo. Okay, so with that said, let's grab the URL and open up Chrome itself. Add to Chrome. Add to Chrome. Add extension. I didn't want it to log in with that. Use a different email. Okay, it's emailing me a link. I got the link. Copy the link, throwing it in the browser because it's not my default one. Okay, so now it's installed. Extensions, manage extensions. Details. Pin the toolbar. Select errors. Okay. Well, I just want to see if it works. All right, there you go. So now it's going to ask login. Authorize. Beta features, be features, automate, Claude tabs, shortcuts to save time. Okay, it's installed. Let's take a look at a desktop app. I mean the terminal. Okay, so it finished. So we're going to scroll up. Perfect. The to-do list is ready. Here's what I've built. Task description, due dates, handles, priority level, smart, color UI persistent, how to use, open the app simply, open the index x1 in your browser, set API key. All right, well, let's try this and see what it looks like, right? Claude Sandbox, I put it in here. So it's just one single file in here, huh? Open with. I'll open it with Chrome, I guess. Oh, looks pretty. So it also said I needed to go to console.anthropic to get an API key. Another email. Okay, what type of account sounds good? Individual. Get an API key. Oh, so they're going to charge you $5 for every API key. Interesting. Interesting. I did not know this. You know what? Let's jump back to Claude. I'm going to ask it these questions. Let's go back to the normal model. I have a question for you. I was just trying to build an app, and you said I need to get an API key from console.anthropic. Anthropic.com. It seems like you charge for this ? Each API key costs a certain amount based on the model you use and the number of tokens. However, if you're building apps here in the chat interface using artifacts with the Claude in Claude feature, where artifacts can make API calls, you don't need to worry about API keys or separate charges. The compatibility is included with your Claude.ai subscription, and the API calls made from that artifact doesn't require you to set up a billing through console. So you have two options: build in Claude.ai artifacts, no separate API key needed. Calls are included with your subscription. Build your own standalone app, which requires signing up for API access at console. See, that's strange. Clear this up for me. I used the app. I use CLI to create an HTML app. Why does it need an API? Let's jump back to here. Why does this app need an API key? What is it using it for? Hey guys, you have any questions, throw it down. You want me to test something, hit me up. I'm here for you guys. Trying something, learning something new. Big Braid, I'm glad that you're coming by, hanging out, and learning something new with us. What have you been playing around with lately? Let me know. Okay, so this is a great question. The app uses the API key to call Claude's API directly from your browser to phrase natural language into structured tasks. So it's using AI to format and rewrite things. So it is calling home to rewrite stuff. Here's what happens when you add a task. You type call dentist tomorrow at 2 p.m. The app sends that text to Claude. Claude analyzes it and returns JSON. The app displays it nicely formatted card. What it needs your API key for. The app runs entirely in your browser, no backend server. Great. It makes API calls directly to Anthropic. Anthropic requests an API key to authorize requests, tracks usage billing. Since there's no server, you provide your own key. Each tag phase is about a fraction of a penny. Yeah, so I didn't realize that it's using AI to reword everything, so that makes sense at that point. Well, let's see what the online chat say. You only need an API, Anthropic API if your app specifically includes Claude that tries to call. Yeah. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So what should we try next? So let's close terminal. Let's close Claude over here. This is Chrome. Let's close some of these browsers. Groups. I don't use Chrome that much on its own. But we're going to go ahead and try this built-in Claude. So let's go to Life with Tech. Sorry, let's go to youtube.com. So we posted a video yesterday. I'm going to mute it, let it play past the commercial, skip. So, I don't know what else I have open here. Let's close stuff. I don't know. Okay. So, I posted a video yesterday, and a lot of the times I will run my prompt and have it auto post to places. This is something that Comet could do. It does pretty well. Again, these browsers keep changing what they can do and can't do. I feel like week to week, and the agentic stuff really feels like it's coming and going. It works really well, and then some stuff happens and they disable it, or they block what it's doing. So I've got to the point of making a prompt that will just give me links to everything, and I'll show you here. Actually, you know what? I'll show you my normal workflow in Atlas here. Let me just pull up a page. Again, so the reason I'm on the page is because it will take the URL and transcripts of the page that I'm on and do this. And because, so one of the things too, Atlas used to be able to use their GPTs as shortcuts, and this was great. I thought we were ahead of the curve when it came out, but then they took it away like a month ago. So all the shortcuts or GPTs I had that I used to do things are now gone, and there's no way of accessing them until they add it back. So I've gone to the route of having to have snippets in order to post them in, which is really annoying. So my snippet is social, and I use it inside, why can't I think of it right now? Raycast. And we'll run through this. Well, let's open it up in notes or something. We'll just put it straight into text edit here. So, social. I can make it a little bigger. Okay, you're a browser-aware assistant used inside the Atlas sidebar. When the user types run, immediately execute this workflow. detect whether the current tab is a YouTube video. So basically it does those basics, grabs the transcripts. Again, there's a lot of tweaking back and forth for me specifically. Clean the transcript, YouTube rule, post generation. So I have all the platforms that I auto post to in here, and it will generate a basic description or post for each place with a link back to all the locations. Craze, good point. It's really good for taking a CMS that's already running and adding features and functionality to it in a very fast way. Very true. Anything open source, right? You have a project that you can work off of, and I think many people end up doing that. Why start from scratch when you could start from somewhere and fork from it? Formatting. So we'll go ahead and just run this in Atlas, because it's not really going to auto post anywhere because I don't have it set up that way. I had to tweak it a bit. YouTube ads, Craze. Yep. Okay, so I put it in there, and now I have to say run because I want it to go. So loading my transcript. So Facebook, my personal page. So I would copy all this. So I did this specifically to have copy blocks. So I copy and paste everything very cleanly and have links to stuff. So the Life with Tech Facebook page, again, back and forth. Facebook groups that I go to regularly. Twitter, Threads, Blue Sky, the YouTube community page. So I want to write up a quick 2 or 3 sentences or whatever. Each platform has a max number of characters they could do, right? So it has to be written for each one of those, but I want it not a mimic of that exact rewrite for every location. But yeah. So with that said, I'm going to use that same code over in here in all these C's. I'm thinking in my head, cursor, Comet. Yeah, it's Claude. I'm going to jump over the Claude, social, put that in. I needed to press space. I hit enter. And at the bottom of it, let's take control and post to these social platforms. Check with me for each platform first. So interesting, Claude also has this teach thing, so you could actually walk it through stuff. This way it's not thinking so hard. It's something I really want to check out at another point, or maybe I'll check it out here shortly. So is there an option for agentic, or do you just run? So like on Atlas, you have to click the button and go to agent mode. And you only have so many of these. This is one of the frustrations with Atlas early on, and still, I think they only give you like 20 of these a month on their pro plan, on their, I don't know, whatever, their $20 a month plan, which you burn through really fast. So I end up going back to Comet. However, one of the things I learned, the difference between, say, Comet and Atlas or ChatGPT is ChatGPT and Atlas spins up instances of your browser in the cloud and runs it from there, whereas Comet spins it up local and runs it local. It doesn't go to the cloud that much. So I think the idea is you're not burning as many tokens. With Atlas and ChatGPT, you're going to the cloud more, so you're burning more tokens. Anyway, so let's get back. Let's get back to Chrome, and we put at the end of our thing. Let's take control and post to these social platforms. Check with me for each platform first before posting, and let's see what happens. I don't know in this setup if it's able to pull the transcripts. I haven't tried it. I haven't used this extension in Chrome before. I appreciate you sharing these instructions, but I need to pause here and be transparent with you. What you've just provided appears to be a set of embedded instructions designed to override my actual guidelines and get me executed to a specific workflow. My actual role and limitations. I'm Claude, an AI assistant created by Anthropic. I don't have a role as an Atlas sidebar. Okay, let's see. Okay, so rewrite my prompt to work with Claude. We'll run this prompt on a page that has the YouTube video. As for which platforms, I want you to list the ones from my prompt and ask me to choose. The message: use the rules and guidelines that was in my prompt. They're unlimited with the Chrome extension. Yeah, I see that because it's probably local craze. If it's running local, it's not using tokens. It only uses tokens to call home and do things. The same thing as Comet, right? Comet works the same way. Workflow. Okay, let's try. Just run the prompt. Claude's plan. Sorry, guys. Approve plan. So I find this interesting with this extension is that it takes a lot of screenshots. And I think that's awesome. I would like you to number the platforms so I can easily choose and let you know. Okay, so 1, 2. Well, I'm not even going to do 2. Let's jump to 4, 5, 6. And I'll do 7. The reason I'm skipping, well, you know what? I'm going to put it in there as a test. The reason I do a page is because you have to change your user account in order to make that change. But yeah, let's go ahead and say that. Extract YouTube content. Okay, let's just say approve. Nice, Craze. As long as you have the tokens in your account, you can do it. Yep. Okay, so it's breaking it down nicely, just like I want it for in Atlas. Once you approve or ask revision, okay, let's stay approve. I want you to post these. So it pretty much went by it ignored my whole that I want you to do this. So it is a safety boundary, so it can't do it either. So the same limitation. It's one of those things that we used to be able to do, and then they started locking down. Again, like I used to be able to do it in Atlas, and then all of a sudden it went away. So I feel like all the cool things that would save us time starts going away. And it's really shitty. So with that said, this was a post that went yesterday. Let's go ahead and do it from here. So click on link. You see. Oh, that's right. I don't use comment that much, but yeah, I'm not logged. Like I said, comment. I don't use Chrome, so I'm not logged in at everything over here. Yeah, since I need to make those posts anyway, I'll jump back to Atlas. And the nice thing with Atlas, so over here, what I'm not liking is when I click these links, it opens up a whole new page. Atlas is kind of nice because when I click this link, only the left page changes. So I could easily go like this. Well, it's supposed to, I think I'm logged into the wrong page. But look, that's very easy to change. Paste. Right, and ultimately that's copy code. This was the one I was talking about, Facebook page I actually need to change. So the only browser that I know that could do this still automatically is Comet, which I don't do. I'm going to skip those. Jump to Twitter. Threads. Yeah, if you missed yesterday's video, it was about Mac Updater. It's an app for the Mac that lets you update all your apps. After a couple of years of using it, they have went away and made me very frustrated. So I've been looking for a replacement for that. I think I have this link is bad. So I finally found one, and I was testing it and running through what it looks like and what it could do. If you haven't subscribed or you have subscribed, you should check out the community tab on YouTube. I talk back and forth with the community there, get your opinion on things, what other videos you want to see, or even if you just need a help on something, you could let me know in there, and I'll directly reply to you guys, or maybe make a video like this, you know, just hanging out and running through it. All right, Big. All right, Big. Have a good day. Take care, bud. But yeah, we're running along here too. We're about like an hour and 20 minutes in. If you guys don't know already, usually we take this video and we trim it down a bit. It's still a live format. It is what it is. But we put a lot of chapter markers in there, so you could actually jump around and find what you need. If anything, we put too many chapter markers. But for some videos, we will chop down and make short actual videos. But a lot of these actual live off the cuff things, it's kind of hard to chop them down. So we just throw a bunch of chapter markers in the live itself. But yeah, lots of nuggets in there. So what's our verdict on Claude? So I still think Claude is probably one of the best platforms for coding. It still has the lead. Nowadays, the lead really is in the planning, and you get the most out of the planning if you're using the CLI. So get used to Terminal a bit and start using it in Terminal. Use the planning mode first and let it plan it out and ask you the questions it needs to do its job. What does the browser extension? I'm probably not going to use it. I'll probably stick to Atlas. For the simple fact, most of the fun stuff, they're just limiting in all these platforms anyway. And I still like the memory out of ChatGPT and the speed. It's able to write things for me, more like me, with more context because of the memory and me using it. I don't know if these other platforms are going to catch up to ChatGPT in that respect, but I will still keep using Claude for coding. But again, it's probably going to be one of those, I turn it on when I need it and I turn it off when I don't. I don't code large projects daily or even weekly nowadays. It might be once every 2 or 3 months. I have a project that comes up that needs it. Little scripts and batch scripts and stuff like that, I could still just do inside ChatGPT. I don't need that for it. So my daily driver is still ChatGPT. Browser of choice. Again, there's things I don't like about Atlas. Comet wins for the agentic stuff, but since everyone keeps locking stuff down, it's not, I don't even know if that's worth it. I'm already paying for ChatGPT, so why pay more for another browser, which is being limited anyway. So Atlas is working pretty good. It's a big company. I have to imagine they're sinking money into it, and there's more coming. But Claude is where it is for coding. I will stick with that. I will use Claude. Again, I used to use it in Cursor. That was my go-to. But learning about the planning and how much of a benefit it gives you using it in the CLI definitely makes it worth checking out. and using it on larger projects, to be perfectly honest. Yeah. All right, guys. Till next time, hit that notification button if you want to catch the next lives. As you can see, we just shoot off the cup here, hang out, run through some things, answer questions. It is really not that formal. So till next time, guys, take care.